Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soft Power Project. Today, I wanted to talk about just why I picked the wrong person to marry. Now, a little disclaimer. If you're looking for juicy story, you're not going to find it here because I don't want it to talk about what he did, what he said, all of that behind his back because that does not sit well with me. And I don't even do that in a friend kind of situation. So what you're going to get are the lessons that I've learned that I wish I had known so that you will not make the same mistake again. Number one, I did not take the time. I didn't take the time. And you know what? There are so many short content about red flags and green flags about relationship these days that I think is fantastic. But know that you still need to take the time to gather enough information because to really know someone, you have to observe the patterns, not just the words, because we all perform hard in the very beginning of the relationship because we all do that. We want to present the best and we want it to give really good impression. But the thing is, the patterns truly will show and surface when time is hard, when there's pressure. So do take the time. And I so did not. I basically said yes to him 4 months after. I mean, just even talking about that now makes me cringe so much. I had no idea who he was. I really had no idea. And yeah, that's mistake number one. Mistake number two, I did not know who I was fundamentally. Probably until I was like 35, because I definitely took a long time to really get myself in a situation where I can rediscover who I am. But basically, as a little girl, I knew people pleasing was a right thing to do. That means I get to survive. So I adapted that. And basically, I was a people pleaser. People's desire, requests, wants, and needs and comfort, that's all very important to me. And I did that throughout my adulthood life. And basically, I got myself good jobs. I always interview really well because I know how to adapt myself. And at the same time, I remember every time I quit the job, the manager will always say to me, Sherry, you're exactly who we want. I'm so sorry that you're leaving. And at the time, I thought, oh, that's a validation, right? They like me. That's a validation. They don't want me to leave. But now that I think about it, it tells me that how much of a people pleaser I was because I fit myself in these different situations so perfectly. And I'm talking about the retail job versus the accounting job in the financial industry. And obviously they're very different, but I fit them so perfectly that they thought I was perfect in that organization. I mean, to me, that is kind of insane. And part of it was that I was someone who went to a different culture and environment to live consistently. So age of 14, I went to Canada to live, to study, and I was in two different cities. And then I went to the States for college and another school and then to work. And then I was in three different cities. So I moved quite a lot. A majority of the move, I did it myself. So I got so good at adapting myself in different environments, speaking in different language, that I was shifting my values every time I'm in a different environment. I think I never really had a chance to sit down and think about who I am because I got so good at fitting in different environment and cultures. And number three, I had no idea that emotional intelligence was important. Zero idea, because what I was constantly doing was to please everyone else. And I thought that was it. That was the most important thing that I had to do. And when I talk about emotional intelligence, is that my emotional intelligence and obviously the partner's emotional intelligence. And in order to know if someone has emotional intelligence at all, it takes time, it takes pressure, you need to look at the patterns when things get hard. And that's it, really. No matter how many quick takeaway that you can get from other influencers or content creators, no matter how many red flags and green flags that you still need to take the time because emotional intelligence will not come out when it's good time, when it's, fun and all dating and movies and dinner, all that. No. And also emotional intelligence for myself, knowing how to even recognize my own negative emotion. How do I regulate myself? How do I reply and a conversation, a very difficult conversation without putting my emotion in there? How do I detach from the emotion? All of that took a long time. But which brings me to the next point is that you got to place yourself in the discomfort. And I did not know discomfort is crucial and it's part of growth. I think I spent so much time in my life avoiding argument, confrontation, and disagreement. As a people pleaser, obviously, that is just impossible, right? You don't want disagreement, you don't want arguments, you make peace, and I would mold myself in a different way in order to make people happy. But now I know that discomfort, all the negative emotions, every single argument provide you such valuable insight about you, your partner. Are you guys actually compatible? And it's gold, in fact. And after every discomfort experience, you will always walk away with something incredible. And this brings me to the last point, which is financial security is everything, especially for you ladies out there. I don't care if your partner says that they will provide you. Don't worry, they will provide you for the living. No, don't worry at all. Just earn money for fun. I don't care if that's true or not. Maybe they're saying that because they're so in love at the time, or maybe they actually believe that. I don't care. But the thing is, when you have financial security, that's really when you get to decide things not out of survival, but out of your own value. When you don't have financial security, you compromise. You said yes to things that you will regret. You say no to things that you will regret. And one thing that I take away from my life experience is that people change. People change all the time. We change all the time. And it's really okay. There's nothing you can do to control people's behavior and reaction. Zero. As much as we try, there's nothing we can do. So yes, even if he says, I will take care of you, baby, I will earn so much money for you, you still cannot. It's not a guarantee. And while that could be a really sweet things and just nice things to hear, but again, you don't want to come to a point where you have to compromise and say yes and do things because you don't have the security, right? So I don't really think it's really about money or how much money, but it's that sense of security and power that you have for your own life. And that is important. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and let me know what you think and the lessons that you've learned from your relationship. If you don't know what that term means, you can go back to the previous episode. But yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.